If you're a parent who's tired of repeating yourself 10 times before your child listens, if you're exhausted from the constant yelling, if you actually want your child to listen, not out of fear, but because they respect and understand you, then this video is for you. Okay, so let me tell you a story. Last weekend, we were at a friend's place for a Christmas dinner. A mix of families, some Indian, some German. At one point, my friend's 7-year-old son accidentally knocked over a glass of red wine on a white carpet. I remember thinking, oh no, this is going to be messy. But his mother simply said, it's okay. Accidents happen. Let's clean it up. No raised voice, no embarrassment, no fear in the child's eyes. What struck me was what happened next. The child wasn't scared. He listened, he corrected himself, and he moved on. I sat there thinking, how are they doing this? What's the secret? That's when I realized something important. This isn't about culture. It's not about being soft. It's about what actually works for a child's brain. And here's the uncomfortable part. Many of us are repeating a discipline style we never consciously chose. We're simply continuing what our parents followed. That's when it hit me. We Indians have this one parenting habit that's quietly damaging our children's brains, and most of us don't even realize we're doing it. So in today's video, I'm going to share a better way of disciplining children, a parenting perspective that completely changed how I look at discipline. And if you're a parent, I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never look at discipline the same way again. Okay, let's start with the facts first. Data from 2025 shows that over 1 billion children are still being hit at home every year. Not abuse cases, not extreme situations, just everyday discipline by parents who genuinely love their kids. Children who are hit tend to struggle more as they grow, emotionally and behavior-wise, not because they are weak or less intelligent, but because fear slows a child down. And I know many of you are thinking, but Palak, our parents hit us, scolded us, and we turned out fine. A child's brain doesn't understand how hard you hit. It only understands danger. When a child is hit or yelled at, their brain doesn't think I should do better. It thinks I'm not safe. This kind of discipline triggers stress hormones and makes children oversensitive to mistakes. So instead of learning, they panic, hide mistakes, lie, and even get anxious. I see this with Sophie very clearly. I never rush her into things, especially because children, and girls in particular, are hormonally more sensitive to pressure. Rushing doesn't build discipline, it creates anxiety and destroys the hormones. So instead of saying we're getting late for the park, hurry up, I say that's okay, we'll just play for a shorter time today. No fear, no stress, just a clear consequence. And she cooperates calmly. And this is something we all can do. And you know what's interesting? A lot of Gen Z parents today are choosing a much more balanced way of parenting. Instead of swinging between two extremes, being overly strict or overly lenient, they're finding a middle ground. This style is often called hybrid parenting. This works because children don't grow well with softness alone, and they definitely don't grow well with fear. What they actually need is love with clear limits. When a child feels emotionally safe and knows where the boundaries are, their nervous system settles. They're less likely to act out, become aggressive, or constantly test limits. For example, when your child throws a tantrum, you don't yell or give in. You say, I see you're upset, but hitting isn't okay. I'm here when you're ready to calm down. Remember, you're not your child's friend, and you're not their dictator either. You're their guide, their safe place, the one who sets limits with love. Okay, so I'm telling you, hitting and yelling don't work. Then you must be thinking, what does? So let me share a few techniques that actually work and that you can start using immediately at home. I'm not perfect, but these have been life-changing for me. Number one, the 3-2-1 rule. Suppose your child is watching TV and it's time to stop. Don't yell. Give them clear warnings. For the first time, tell them, this is your first warning. TV will go off soon. For the second time, tell them, this is your second warning. And then third time, calmly turn off the TV. That's it. No yelling, no drama, just so they should know clear limits. Now, technique number 2, emotional labeling. This one is gold, guys. Let's say a child breaks their favorite toy and starts crying. The instinct is often to say, stop crying, it's just a toy. Instead, you can say, you're feeling really sad right now because your toy broke. It's okay to feel sad. That toy was special to you. When emotions are named, children calm down much faster because they feel understood. Research shows that authoritative parenting helps children develop emotional regulation. When we name emotions, we teach kids how to manage them. Trust me, it will help them throughout their life. Now, the next technique is natural consequences. Last week, Sophie refused to put her school uniform in the wash. I reminded her once, she ignored me. I reminded her again, and she again didn't listen to me. So I just let it go. The next morning, she came to me saying, Mama, my uniform isn't clean. Yes, beta, remember I asked you to put it in the wash? She was upset, but she learned, and I didn't have to yell or force her. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Okay, now technique number 4, the power of choices. Instead of saying clean your room now, you can say, do you want to clean your room before dinner or after dinner? The child gets a sense of control. This is the hack. You still get the outcome, and both of you win. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What do you do when you lose control? Last month, I had a terrible work day. Sophie was refusing to listen, and I just snapped. I yelled at her, and I felt horrible afterward. And when it was hitting me, here's what I did. I apologized. I sat with her and said, I'm sorry I yelled at you. Mama was feeling very stressed, but that wasn't your fault. I should have used my calm voice. She hugged me and said, it's okay, Mama. Guys, apologizing to your kids is not a weakness. It's teaching them that everyone makes mistakes, and it's brave to say sorry. Here's the truth. Parenting is not about controlling our kids. It's about guiding them, teaching them, showing them that even when they mess up, and they will mess up, we're still their safe space. Positive discipline builds self-control in children, while harsh discipline breaks it. This isn't a debate anymore. Researchers have proved it. And it's time we parent differently. Let's build a generation that doesn't grow up afraid of their parents, who knows they're loved even when they make mistakes. Those who learn from consequences, not fear. So guys, it's a challenge for you. This week, when your child messes up, take a deep breath before reacting. Try one of the techniques. If you found this helpful, share this video with other parents who need to hear this. Let's create a support system for each other. And make sure you're subscribed to My Duty, backed with science and not stress. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.